should have power jacked her. Hi guys, welcome to my first live. I'm so excited. I'm so happy that you guys came today. I appreciate your time. I know that as hairdressers mostly, and there may be some of you that are here that aren't hairdressers, but which this will help you as well to learn how to blow dry your hair. But I'm going to show you a French blow dry after I do a balayage process so that you can prep the hair for your haircuts. This is my beautiful model, Sophie. I've known her since she was a little baby.
Hi, Sophie.
She's my best friend's girl, and she really likes to keep her hair blonde. And we basically balayage the back and foiled around the front. And so you're going to get to see the finished products once we finish all of this. But first, let me do an introduction. My name is Ainsley Clark, aka the Bali Lolly. I am here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I specialize in balayage and French cutting. And I really love spreading my knowledge. No gatekeeping here. I love to let everyone know the tricks of the trade so that you can be successful behind the chair, just like I was, or am, I guess.
Yes.
I have been in the hair industry for 23 years, and I started all over after 12 years as an assistant on $8 an hour to learn how to blow dry like this, along with balayage, French cutting, business side of things, all of those things. And that's what shaped me into who I am today. And now I'm a suite owner here in Sandy Springs and running my own business, doing my own thing, teaching assistants on how to grow behind the chair as well. So I'm happy you guys are here. Make sure to give me a click and follow if you are interested in all things balayage. Okay, so Sophie's hair is medium wavy, so she has a little bit of fineness with a little bit of curl. So I'm going to pre-dry her medium so that we don't waste any time trying to get all of the droopiness out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and start pre-drying so that we can set her up. Now, if Sophie had board straight hair that was super fine like mine, you could pre-dry probably 80%. If she has the medium, then you can probably pre-dry about 50%. And if she has super curly hair, then we wouldn't pre-dry much at all. We would just get the wet out. But because she's medium, we're going to go ahead and get some of this wetness out so that we can shape the hair. And I'm also going to add a little bit of product as well, and I'll show you what products I'm going to be using. But I like to get the drip, like super wet stuff out of it first, so that it's easier to mold the hair with the brush that we use.
And I am Kelly said, hi, love.
Hi, honey. It's one of my clients, and she's the best.
And Lacey says, hello, beautiful friend.
Hi, friend. So happy you're here. Thank you for joining. I know that it's in the middle of the day. It's a Monday. Who wants to be doing stuff like this? So thank you for putting the time and effort in. I truly appreciate you. I love you.
And Summer says, love you.
Love you, honey.
Myrna said, get it, Poopy.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm loving it. I love all of these people joining in. Summer is a fellow hairstylist, but also a client. And she works in Roswell, and she still comes to see me. And I love it. So, these are the products that I'm going to put in Sophie's hair. This one is the Olaplex Volumizing Spray, just to give her a little bit of lift at the regrowth. And then this is the Olaplex number 6 Smooth Bonder. This is my favorite thing in the whole world. I make every single color client get these so that it protects the hair, smooths the hair, keeps the ends from looking like fried and damaged. And you only have to use a little tiny bit, and it goes a really long way. So this little bottle will last a while. So make sure to have these two things in your arsenal. They're my favorite. And then I'm going to put a little bit of a shaping cream from 11, just so it's just lightweight and it'll help it style and stay. Love this stuff as well. Okay, so I'm going to start with the volumizing mist.
Nikki Hinkle says, so freaking proud of you. You are the goat.
You're the goat, Nikki. Me and Nikki have been friends since childhood, and she has followed me my entire career. I've probably worked at 6 to 7 different salons in my career, and she has come to every single one of them. I'm from a small town in South Georgia, and she followed me to Atlanta, Stockbridge, Noonan. I mean, you name it. She has been there, and she just opened her own little spot down in Noonan called Apricot Lane, which is a clothing store, and I'm obsessed with it. So make sure to check her out as well. All right, so I'm putting the number 6 in her ends. And then I'm going to take my hands. I still have product in the palm. So I just take my hands, rub them together, and then I'm going to pull that product back on the tip. And then I'm going to put it in the ends, and then I'm going to work it around the hairline so we make sure that everything is nice and moisturized and has that little bit of Olaplex protein in it, which is amazing for the hair. Okay, so now that we've got her prepped, I'm going to show you. I work with an assistant, so she helps me blow dry. Obviously, not everybody has that, and that's totally fine. But for me, it helps them learn how to shape the hair so that when they go to do their French cutting that I teach them, they'll understand the reasoning behind it. So what I would do, I put my clips back here, sorry. Let me grab my clips. So I would have 3 clips, and I would separate the front of the hair from the back of the hair, starting at the crown and going to the top of the ear. And this would be my section here. So my section, assistant section. So I'm just going to clip that back here for now while I do the front. And I am using a boar hair bristle brush. And the reason I'm not using my metal brush is because I've done a lightening process on her, and I don't want to be too tough on the hair. So I want to be gentle with it. So I'm going to use my boar hair brush instead of heating it up with this metal inside, because sometimes that can cause a little bit of heat damage, and we do not want that. Okay, so I'm going to grab my blow dryer. I use the Babyliss Pro. I love this guy. He really has a lot of power behind him. So, all right, so I hope you guys can hear me. I got my fancy new microphone. And I hope y'all can hear me really good. It should be drowning this out so that you guys can hear me. Okay, so I'm going to be starting in the front. And the reason that I start in the front is so that I can show the color off to the client. And I'm going to start, a lot of people do the big reveal where they turn them around away from the mirror and then they flip them back around. I feel like this is just as good because I'm blow drying in front of the face until I flip it backwards to show them the color. Another reason that I do this is so that we don't do a full blow dry and then they hate the tone of it and then you have to go back, retone, and re-blow dry. This also makes them feel really pretty while they're sitting here getting their hair blow dry. Okay, so you can see that I'm holding my section with these 2 fingers. And the reason that I hold it with these 2 fingers is because I'm checking the heat of the hair, because I don't want the hair to get too warm. So I'm going to be starting on base, and I'm going to be coming off 90 degrees. The head, remember, is round, so we have to work off of a round shape. So I'm placing it on base. I'm taking the controller of the blow dryer, which is this guy, and I'm going to be doing the regrowth. So I do the regrowth. It's not fully dry, so I come back in for a second time, laying those baby hairs down, still at the regrowth. So now, when I have grabbed this section with my fingers, I can tell that it's dry. So I'm going to place it into the brush and start the midsection. 1, holding the controller up above the bristles. 2, and usually in about 3 passes it feels pretty dry. So now I'm going to work my way to the ends. Now the ends are super important. This is our second pass, and this is our third. Now I'm really going to work down towards the ends and make sure that I have them nice, smooth, and straight. You'll see a lot of people that blow dry, which is great for like the new 90s style blow dry that's out with all the big volume and the big curls. That is wonderful, and sometimes I do those big blowouts, but before the haircut, I like to make sure that it is nice and straight. And I want to make sure that I really work these ends so that they're dry. A lot of people blow dry their hair and just kind of forget about the ends because they're like, oh, I'm tired of blow drying my hair. The ends will dry. But the ends are very, very important to dry. All right. So let's one on the regrowth again.
Oh, Philip just joined.
Two. Hey, Philip. That's my bestie. Haven't seen him in forever. I love you, boo-boo. Three. And then we're going to come back. That feels pretty dry. And the reason I can tell is because I can feel it with my fingers. Now we're going to come back to that midsection. Feels pretty dry, so I'm going to come down to these ends, making sure I'm working my ends really good so that they're nice and smooth to prepare me for my haircut. So now I've done two sections in the front. So I push this off to the side so that they can see, breathe, whatever it is. Some people don't like their hair in front of their face. It makes them really uncomfortable and claustrophobic. So I always try to make sure that the client is always comfortable. I take a section that is no wider or thicker than my brush. So I'm starting at the regrowth, making that one pass, second pass, third pass. Feels pretty dry, but sometimes it can take a couple of passes more on the front. So I'm going to come from behind the section.
Oh, Philip said, I'm watching from a plane, but I had to tune in to the Queen.
You are my king. I love you. So, now that we have this regrowth in midsection almost dry, 2, 3. So that felt pretty good. So I'm going to move down to these ends, make sure they smooth out.
Heather Brock said, hey, my sweet Anns.
Hey, my sweet Heather. She's always liking my posts, sharing my posts. She's such a big supporter, and I really appreciate it. But she's also a really dear friend of mine. All right, so we have that section here. So let's move over to this side. Also, cords are the bane of my existence. Somebody please. Okay, so now I'm going to move this hair out, and I'm going to take this section, and I'm going to take a section that's no wider than my brush in either direction. So you got to remember body position. When you're right-handed, this is going to feel a little awkward, so you got to make sure that you make it come right off the head. We all know this side of the head, sometimes it'll flip and be unruly if you're right-handed, so you got to make sure you're coming straight out of the head. We're at the regrowth. Now we're in the midsection. We're going to work the blow dryer through here, making sure that that nozzle stays on top. I don't want you here burning your bristles. It doesn't help the brush. It doesn't help the hair lay straight. I kind of like to explain it like the blow dryer is the iron and the brush is the ironing board. Got a little tangle in there, so we're not going to make her be in pain. We're just going to get it out of there for her. I've got that midsection dry, so now we're going to work towards the ends. Okay.
Kristen Kyle just hopped in.
Hey, Kristen. That's my baby. I love you. Thanks for joining. I'm giving a little blow dry class for the people who aren't hairdressers as well. You can use these techniques at home. They're really easy to do if you have a blow dryer that has the brush attached to it. It makes it a little easier for you. So 1, 2, 3. Let's move down to that midsection. 2, 3, down to the end. Really working those ends. Okay, now I have this entire front section. So I'm going to push it back.
Oh, look at that beautiful model.
That's the prettiest one I've ever had. And then she can see her color. I can go ahead and tell you she already loves it because she loves being a blondie.
Do you love it?
All right, so now that we've got this front section, let's say she didn't like the tone. She's like, yeah, I don't know. So we obviously have to take her back, get that tone out of there, and then replace it with a different. But as most of my teenage girls say, I get blonde and sexy. So that's what we did because she is blonde and she is.
Haney said, the way I blew dry my hair before I met you was a mess. Thankful to you every day for showing me the ways. Love you, friends.
That's right, Heidi. I love you too, but I appreciate the shout out because it's quite the task, but you figured it out. You figured it out. Thanks for joining. I appreciate all the love and support.
Slay Harris. Ansley always told me to Beyonce the front when I used to assist her.
Eric, I love you. You are literally such a joy on this earth, and if everybody could be half the person you are, we would all be better off. I'm telling you that right now. I miss you so much. You're so talented, and I'm so proud of you.
Elizabeth said Beyonce the front. I love that.
Beyonce the front, that's a good one. I'm going to have to use that, Eric, on my next reel. Wow, that's awesome. All right, so we're working on this underneath now. We're coming straight down, right here on the regrowth. We've already made 3 passes, so let's go down to the midsection. Make those 3 passes as well. And then we're going to work towards the ends. Smooth those out because we're still going to have to perfect the haircut after this. If I have a super rounded end, like so, I've rounded out, it's going to make it a little more difficult for me to do the haircut. So if I do want curls on the ends, I usually try to use a curly liner, or if they do not want a haircut, then I go crazy with the metal brush. So always doing your hair in sections will be very helpful, but obviously once you learn how to do this, you can do it without clips, but for educational purposes, we brought the clips today.
Alex said, look at that technique.
That's right. Like you trying to spread the word of a good French blood dry. I'll give you one next time you come in. All right, so we're working on this regrowth here. So it's nice and dry. Using your fingers for them to see how warm the hair is. I don't want to see smoke coming off the hair. It's too hot. And you need to turn your heat down. And you need to cook it like it's in the oven. All right, now we're on our midsection here. Staying above the brush. I had a girl that I used to assist, and she would always say, "Where's your heat? Where's your heat?" That always stuck with me. Her name was Jennifer, and if you see this Jennifer, I miss you too. But she would always say, "Where's the heat?" Because I'd be down here. No, you have to be up here on top of the brush, laying it down as if you're ironing a piece of clothing. All right, so now we're working our way through the ends, smoothing those out. The hair feels completely dry, so I feel the entire section. So we're going to work those in, smooth them out. And I want you to get a good look at these ends. See how smooth that is? That's what we need in order to perfect our haircut. Alright, so we got our next section.
Anthony said, do you think you could do that to my hair?
Absolutely. Anytime. You just let me know. We'll get you on the book. Right? So we're working this regrowth. Most of the time this part of the hair is the thickest. So it takes a little more arm work.
The balayage guy says gorgeous.
I love you. Thank you for watching. You are so amazing. especially on your back. I'm assuming that all hairdressers are off on Mondays because I am, but maybe you're not. But if you are and you take the time to come and watch this, I really, really appreciate your time and effort. So now we're working the midsection. I really like the wide nozzle. It covers more of the hair layer blow dry and it speeds up time, which means you can take new clients, more money in the bank. And that's really what you have want, really.
Lacey said, "You're such a wonderful educator, Ansley."
Okay, first of all, the fact that Lacey said that, I might just go pass out in the break room because she is one of my favorite educators. She's so beautiful, she's so down to earth, so full of knowledge. She really makes it easy to learn. She doesn't make it complicated. She's a good soul. I've never met somebody quite like her. She is just a sweet, sweet angel. And I can't wait to see her in Chicago in April. We're going to have a great time with you. I can't wait. All right, so let's do this or the regrowth. Salon Dry. No smoke coming off of it, which is what we want. Washing my feet, making sure that it's on top of the brush and it's not down here. Or pushing the hairs up this way or laying the hairs down. So midsection is still not dry. If you ever see it bunching up like that, like this, it means that it's still wet. So you want to make sure to get all the dampness out of it. Midsection. Feeling pretty good. So let's go ahead and work these ends. And you can see I'm not doing all the pulling and the tugging and this and that yet. You make it smooth. Make it enjoyable for the client. And take your time because slowing down really does speed you up.
I like that. Lisa Pryor asked, "What brand of brush are you using?"
I actually have had this brush. Again, I've been in the industry for 23 years. I've had this brush for ages. And I get asked that all the time, and the name got rubbed off. So I don't know, but let me look into that. I will have Miranda look into that and see if she can find it. But again, I've had it forever, so I can't really. All right, so now we're working towards the top. I'm going to take this section because this is in the crown area. I want to make sure all of this gets dried, where the hair splits, where people mostly have pallets. All right, so picking up our section again. Shaping the section, getting that regrowth dry.
Lisa said, "Thank you."
You are welcome. I'm so sorry I couldn't be more informative. I had a feeling that question was going to be asked, and I believe it. But I promise I will try to find exactly where this is from. I have two of them, and if I lost them, I would try. I love them too much. All right, so working on the midsection. You can see how it's kind of getting a little tangly when I pull through. That means it's still wet, so we have to stay on top of the brush, watching our feet. And then we're going to work our way down to the ends. And really get those ends nice and dry. Again, I'll have my little flex number 6 in here to protect some of the heat damage and to give us some nice shine. Sometimes right here I like to work where the cowlick is a little bit because it's more split. So I'll do the underneath here and then I'll start the French blow off. Nine degrees off of the hand, working the regrowth. Here on the regrowth. On the dry, so we're going to work our way to the end. I'm sorry, to the midsection. We're going to work our way to the midsection. Laying that heat on top of the brush. We don't want it on the brush. We want the heat above the brush. Brandon, if you could just come over here really quick and then make sure close up and then I'm talking about where the heat should be. So the heat should be here. It should not be here. Not here. Should not be here. And that's the favorite section. And work it gently. Now that that midsection is getting dry, we're going to work towards the end and lay it down nice and smooth. I'm going to offset that, but the color looks good.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
All right, so working on this last section is really heavy part. So I kind of like to get those underneath dry, and then we're going to come on the top. Body position is important. You want to be the right every section. Getting the three braids dry, and then we're going to work towards the mid calf. Making sure that we make a couple of passes, 2 to 3, sometimes 4, depending on the density of the hair. And then we are going to work our way down to the end to make it nice and smooth.
Lacey said her color looks amazing.
Thank you, Lacey. We did a balayage or a foil in the front, a foil pattern in the front, and then we painted the entire back with balayage. And I really like to do that because I feel like it gives more of like a natural glow, as if they had worn their hair in a ponytail at the beach, and the front of it got really, really light, and underneath is just kind of pissed. And I really, really love that look. So that's kind of what I try to mimic on most people. Okay, now we're at the top. I'm going to part her hair here. Parts her hair here, so I'm going to marry everything to the front so that when she pushes it back, it gives you that smooth volume. I don't like to blow dry on the part this way. Some people do, not saying it's wrong, but I think for the volume aspect of it, you definitely got to get it on either side of this part and marry them together. So, on the top, I try to come forward a little bit just to create a little bit of drama, a bit of volume. I'm still staying behind the section. I'm not putting the heat on my brush. I am laying it on the hair on the brush, and the heat stays behind it. So I'm doing this for volume. So now that I've got the underneath dry, I'm going to come here, come to the side here, yep, and then I will lay my brush. Let me freeze, and I come back, and I kind of just work it back and forth until I get some good lift. Sometimes I even take my brush, put it here, lay it here. Once we start to go backwards, and I get a cool shot so that it'll set the volume. The back of your blow dryer has cold air coming out of it, and you know that anything you curl or paint, you have to set it to coolness. And so this can help that set, and then you can see how she gets that volume. I mean, but you still have to work and you're tracking it in, so I'm going to give it a little extra tension because this is the very top of it. All right, and here's our last section.
Lisa asked what styling products you're using. She also loves your outfit.
Target pants. My client made me these fabulous sparkly shoes.
So cute.
This is American Express. I mean,
You bought it with your American Express.
This is American Eagle. Okay.
Kristen says it's like magic.
Oh, yay, Kristen. Thank you, Kristen. You have really upped your blow dry game too since we've been friends with this now. All right. So we're pulling this forward, getting it some volume. I'm going to lay it here. Give it a little cool shot. Then we're going to go 90 degrees on the midsection, and then I'm going to give it a little extra tension on the end so that it lays nice and smooth. And then at the end, we always think that our hair is dry, and if you think it's dry, give it 5 more minutes. So I take my hands, run it through, make sure I don't feel any moisture. Make sure it's laying nice and smooth. I'm loving the way that it's turned out with the blow dry. It's going to make my haircut as soon as easier on me. I'm going to have some food here in front of the light. The face mask. All right, guys, and this is what we have. A beautiful French blowout for our beautiful Sophie.
Do you want to show the styling products one more time for the latecomers?
Yes, please. I would love to. So now we got to go in for our haircut. That's for another day. I will definitely be doing lives on haircuts, hair painting, you name it. I'm going to be doing it. This is my year to spread the knowledge to you all. Okay. Also, let me show you really quick. We've got our Olaplex volumizing blow dry mist, and then we have the Olaplex #6 Bond Smoother, which is my go-to. Love it so much. And if you don't have this in your arsenal, then you're crazy. Okay. So definitely, I usually just use these two things, and they make a very, very big difference. So I really, really love them. And then I'm going to come in with my camera hairspray. Just a little, it's a molding spray. It's not very heavy, but it smells delicious. It's the Kenra #13. Oh, it's to die for.
So much gratitude.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing this with all of us.
Oh my gosh, of course. I'm so happy that you guys joined me today. You have no idea how nervous I was, or if I was even going to be any good at it, because, you know, educating is a whole nother thing. And there is a method to the madness. And I just wanted to prove to people to step outside of your box and don't be scared, because you have a huge support system.
And Liz said, I love this. You're
Oh,
getting all the hearts. Amazing.
I love that. Thank you guys so much for your love and support. And stay tuned. Make sure to follow and stay tuned for everything balayage, because it's coming at you.